it down a little.
30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to Beat in the Street with your host, Sharita Long.
Hello, this is Beat in the Street, and I'm Sharita Long, and these are my guests.
Sharonda. Shamazra.
Hi, family. How are you guys doing? We're going to open up this chat so I can see what's going on over there. Okay. Ain't nobody over there.
Not yet. They'll come.
It's all right, but y'all get here when y'all get there, and whoever is in the chat and hasn't put, I say hello. As you can see in the pin, Mark graced us with what everyone thought was some really good news about the Tanzania doing price reductions for the diaspora. And I sent it out to anyone that was following me on whether it was Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and to some personal friends about the video that he put out there. And shortly after it was put out, I realized something didn't set right with me. So I did block those and until I could figure something out. So I put a chat out into one of our groups. Which group was that?
The Israel group.
The Israel group. This is to ask if anybody wanted to attend, to make a road trip to immigration here in Tanzania. And these two women stepped up and said, yeah, I want to go. So we just want to discuss our findings from that trip to immigration today. First, we want to just talk about the overall
the experience
at immigration. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I wanted to quickly say that I'm not sure for anyone else, but for me, the word immigration is scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's
gave Section 8 vibes,
right? Just like, especially before you get here, you're like, will I get my visa? If I get there, immigration try to X, Y, and Z. So I feel like on YouTube, amongst popular YouTubers, immigration has kind of been demonized. I can also say that coming from the U.S., the word immigration doesn't always sit well because we think of people getting taken away and sent back to where they came from. So I went in with, I will say, a little bit of fear. But when we got there, it was a completely different experience. And it could have been the grace of the Most High that allowed us to breeze through and give us the right people. But I can say that our experience was very, very positive with everyone that we came in contact with.
Exactly. I want to say so what I have on today was inappropriate to wear at immigration. Luckily, they let me in. I was able to cover my shoulders with my scarf, but you cannot go into immigration with no sleeves, and you can't go into immigration with shorts on, and I'm assuming that means short skirts as well. No tobacco or lighters, no book bags. What else was there? No
sunglasses, obviously, because they want to see your face. When we say shorts, even men,
Yeah.
you cannot wear shorts. And I know I spoke with someone who said he was turned around because he was wearing shorts. We also saw a woman wearing a pair of quite short shorts, and they turned her around. And what she had needed to do was she went and bought a scarf, one of the long scarves, and draped it around her waist, and she was able to go in. But they have their rules and their set. So if you're going to go to immigration and speak with someone, dress appropriately. Even if you're wearing leggings, I would hazard you against wearing leggings as well because they're so fitted, unless you wear a long shirt or a dress over it.
Okay.
I can just mention why I went there as well. Like, yeah, this information with Mark and what he posted was, exciting, thinking possibly, I can even get some type of residency going through his
Or volunteer work or for retirement and a class A.
It was business, volunteer, and I forget retirement.
Yeah. So I figured, this is great information. Well, I want to definitely, I was really excited. And like she said, I posted it and sent it to the people. And then when she contacted saying who wants to go down there, I'm like, well, soon my visa will expire. So I want to see. I learned from messaging in the group about this information that, and a couple of months ago that you were able to extend your visa. Right. So I didn't have to leave the country and come back. So I was like, oh, there's an extension. And she had told me.
Yeah, a 30-day extension.
A 30-day, only 30 days is as long as you can get for an extension. And so I contacted her and asked her how much it was. And she told me $50,000, but that wasn't even the case. That's what she paid. But like they said, when we got there and we asking the questions directly, it's completely free. But it's like, it doesn't stop there because she said 50,000. She told me who she learned this from. So I contacted them and they told me 150,000 T shillings each.
So we went to immigration on the Mark situation.
Yeah.
But what we found was we weren't asking. It just like by the questions that we asked about her immigration, they just told her it's free, and we're looking at each other like,
right, I paid $50,000.
So there's a lot of scams going on,
right?
People,
And
whether they are knowing of the scam or not knowing of the scam, it doesn't matter because this video is about fact checking. If someone tells you something, you have the responsibility to check the facts. So if you have a guy over there in Tanzania or wherever, and he's charging you $50,000 or 50,000 T shillings, which is about what, $30?
Yeah, about $25.
Okay, it's not a lot of money, but when you're a single mother of 5 children, that's a whole lot of money. If you're a single person with no job, that's a lot of money. If you are a married person with no job, that's a lot of money. So
it adds up.
It adds up very quickly.
And can I just add that I wasn't even being told it was 50,000 from from the same person.
The exact same person.
2 months later, now I'm asking for this extension, and this same person is telling me it's 150,000 each.
And she has 6 people that she needs to buy this from. Right. So we have to be aware that, just like I am cash deficient right now, there are other people that are cash deficient, and they're selling information that is literally free here in Tanzania.
And by they, I mean, these are not Tanzanians we're speaking of. Yes, there are people they're working with because you need you need a hook up,
Mhm.
as it was described. But the person that supposedly assisted me is from the U.S. She's a part of the diaspora. So we come here looking to trust the people who are here, the Tanzanians, and also the people who are from the US, because we think that we have made a connection. And then you find out X amount of months or weeks or years later that they screwed you out of what is seemingly a small amount of money.
But if you do this every 3 months,
it continues to add up. And I know that from what I was told, is you're able to get, I believe, 2 extensions.
But I think they told us actually 1 extension
right.
at immigration.
Right. The policy has changed. I spoke with someone who's been here for a couple of years, and she said when she was first here, you were able to get as many as you needed.
Mhm.
And then people abused that system, so they changed it, and now you're only able to get 1. And I can say that I reached out to that out. So my I will have been here for almost 6 months. So I'm coming up on my 7th month, and I'll need to get another extension. I thought I would, or I would need to leave the country, re-enter in order to get access to my additional 90 days. So I reached out to this person asking her if she could help me out, and she never even got back to me. Like, never. And I know that she saw the message. So it's one of those things where all of these things are coming to light, and it's involving the same people that we have trusted for so long, and I'm sure that many of you have trusted. So we're hoping that this will give these people some time to think about what they've done and to repent, because honestly, if they don't, we're just going to say who they are, so that you know, because we're doing you a disservice by being obscure. Right now we're granting mercy where mercy is necessary.
We're giving grace where we want grace.
Right.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's all it is. Because I'm here saying it's fact checking. Because we went to the horse's mouth instead of its.
Right.
Okay. So when you're saying that something costs when it's actually free. Okay. Now I can understand on your situation. You went to the immigration office and they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
In your case, this person wanted to take your passports and take them down to immigration. So same person, 2 different scenarios, and it went from 50,000 T shillings to 150,000 T shillings.
Total 900,000
Yeah.
T shillings.
And that's how much US?
US.
So it's probably about $475 USD.
Something that was free.
It's free.
Shame.
Agreed.
Shame. Shame, 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 shame. This woman has 5 children. 5. Shame. And if you didn't know better, you know better now. And I personally hope I never, ever hear about this happening again.
And I would just want to add that imagine, just if they didn't mention, hey, do you guys want to go down to the immigration
we would have
office?
never found out none of this.
We wouldn't have found out any of it. And it would have been kind of maybe even, I would just say, doing this, I've learned that even if they didn't get together to say, hey, who wants to come? I know that if they didn't say that, I wouldn't have even tried to go myself. Mm-hmm. So now moving forward, and I believe all of us need to move forward and say, no matter what information I hear, I need to go myself. Don't be afraid of immigration. Like she said, go find out yourself. Because I was thinking, I'm praying and thinking, how am I going to get that 900,000 or try to negotiate them down? And I already asked the negotiation to be 50,000, like I heard she received. And they were like, the person who said, who I was supposed to go through, the middleman, said, that's too low. It'll have to maybe 100,000. Let me go check with my sources and I'll get back to you. I haven't heard anything yet. But I'm just also want to say, just like she said, it's a shame if that, I think it even could be a shame even for us to just sit here and just listen to people's information and just go and run with it. We need to find out the facts.
And we've been learning that in this walk. If you are an awakened Israelite, you should know that it is about searching out the truth of the matter for yourself. Do not just rely on what people say. If there is a mouth to the horse, go to its mouth. Do not, I repeat, do not go to his butt.
Right.
Okay?
Because that's where we're getting a lot of misinformation.
Now, when somebody in the scripture, somebody in the chat, tell me where it tells us that, oh Lord, it just flew from me that quick. Where it talks about when a person needs to prove themselves trustworthy. When that you can't just call a person a friend or a brother or a sister. They have to show you, not just tell you, because see, people like to talk. They tell you who they are all the time, but I only listen to a person when they show me who they are. Okay? And I'm not trying to sit on no high horse that I haven't done things wrong, knowingly or unknowingly. That is not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to say here is that while here in the diaspora, for other people to want to come, for us to continue to stay here, we have to not only follow the law of this land, but we have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High has set down for us. In those laws, if we were keeping to the law, statutes, and commandments, there was no way this would have happened to you. There was no way this would have happened to you, because as a brother, as a sister, I would have gave this information to you freely, because it was given to me freely. What are we doing?
Did we really?
We can't make a hustle out of everything that's going on in Tanzania.
Yeah.
We can't do that. You can't hustle the people that are fleeing captivity.
Your family. There's and I'm this is loose, but I recall a certain part of scripture, and I want to say it's the Old Testament, where there are these 2 or 3 travelers, and they're told they go into a town that's obviously not where they're from. They're traveling, passing through, and they didn't have anywhere to sleep, and they were sleep outside the courtyard. And one of the people in the town tells them, "Don't sleep out here because they'll rob you. Come into my house, and you can have dinner because they hear you sleep for the night." And what it boiled down to was they were getting scammed. They were trying to leave. It's like, well, no, give me this, or no, you can't leave, because they wanted something from them. We're getting that kind of treatment from the people who are from Tanzania. So when we're pouring our hearts out to our brothers and sisters who are from and within the diaspora, the experience that we're having, and then they go and do the exact same thing, I'm holding you at a higher accountability because you're claiming to love the Most High and keep His commandments. You're
calling me sis.
Right, exactly, all the time. So you're manipulating and you're being deceitful. You're being as if your father is not the Most High, if you get what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, okay. That is not even why this live had even went down. Now, when I tell you we were not going to in search of why the people were charging for extensions for your passport or your visa, we didn't come in for that. And with that all said, she was able to get all of her kids' passports done without her children being there. She got them stamped. The only thing she had to pay for was copies of the picture portion of her passport and the stamps that were already on the passport. She needed to make copies of those and a copy of the paperwork they gave her. She needed to have 5 other copies of that.
And it was photocopy.
So how much was all that together?
38,000 T shillings.
38,000 T shillings, which is about $15.
No, not even. No. It was 3,500.
That was less than $1.
That was
less than $1 to do something that somebody said was going to cost her $400 US. Come on now, that is a $399 markup, sis, bruh.
And that is
cousin.
and the total was for 6 people. So imagine just for one person, you would have paid 10 cents going in there just to make some photocopies
Make a copy. Yep.
and get your stuff in. How long we wait there? Like,
It wasn't long.
no, it was not
the-
really
when
long
we-
at all.
Like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it was probably altogether it was an hour because the first leg of our operation was to go in and talk about the Mark situation.
Exactly.
And we're going to get to that in just a second. And that took as long as it took to exhaust our questions.
Yeah.
I mean, we asked this man question after question until we got to her situation. And then we were done and we handled her business. And that was about another 30 minutes. And then we were out of there with everything that we set and more accomplished, right? So to the Mark situation. For those of you that saw Mark's post about Tanzanian reaching a new policy far as the diaspora specifically, and needing a new name for the diaspora, which I believe that's true, and I believe that's just Israel, the ancestral Israelites. That would be my personal view on that. Bloodline descendants of Israel. He gave us the option to pay. You have the list of prices. We screenshotted. Just so you know, his website is no longer working right now. You can't purchase anything. During his live, he let us know that people were just purchasing this outright. On his website, he notifies that there are no refunds for this, and we are going to get into the meat of the matter when it comes to Mark.
So right now, so I didn't get a screenshot when the prices were available, but I believe the prices, one was $1,700, one was $700, and I think one was.
Are those the ones
$500.
from in the WhatsApp group? They have the ones with the prices on them. I think they're original prices. I'm sure that the one for visitor was $750 because that's the one that I wanted to do. And they have the one for visitors and one for Class A and for retirement, and they were all lower than what we thought the prices were. Come to find out, for the visa that I would like is the visitor visa. It is only $250. Tell me, Mark. Pray you tell me.
The volunteer visa?
Yeah,
Visitor?
the volunteer visa.
Volunteer
It's $250. So pray tell me, Mark. How did you come at the rise to the cost of $750, sir? How are you doing the diaspora a favor? And it's because we didn't do our research. I mean, we could have easily debunked this at home if we went on the immigration website, which I have put in the description box that you can go to at any time and see if I'm a liar or if someone else is a liar. So
I've spoken to a lawyer about the Class A visa, and I've spoken to someone else, and I'm not sure what. I think he works within immigration. So we just got information, and we only paid one. We paid the lawyer because you're already going to pay a lawyer for their time. And this was about a month ago, and then about 3 months ago, if not longer. So I'm good. These are just rounded numbers. I'm rounding up. But in order to get a Class A here, from the last time I checked, it costs about $10,000. A Class A, there are many things under Class A, but if you're opening a business on your own, you would apply for a Class A either before you got here or once you got here, you would switch over your your tourist visa to a Class A visa. One of the fees that's attached to that is called a special pass. That special pass is $600 USD alone. And that is what attached to anytime you want to change your status in the country. I'm only saying that to let you know that if we were able to actually get a resident visa for these smaller amounts of money, then that would mean that all the other fees attached to getting a Class A retirement and a volunteer visa have been completely waived. Because a Class A is going to cost you at least $10,000, and a Class C is going to cost you at least $4,000. 4,500. I'm going to say 5,000. So that is information more than once. I went to the website, so I know you're getting a visa, you're getting a resident permit, and a work permit. Not to mention any other additional fees or percentages that it costs to process. So he's basically saying that a Class A visa process to be a resident here for 2 years with a resident permit, changing your status, opening up a business, plus a resident permit and work permit, went from 10,000 to 1,700. That would be wonderful if it were true, but there are so many fees. There are so many fees attached to it, and the description on his website was so nondescript. You actually didn't know what was changing.
Yep. And the only thing that was changing now with Mark, he said some things. I really want to play the video. He said some things that were off-putting to me, and one of those was the fact that seemed like he was already trying to say that he really didn't know who this person was. Like, well, that's who he said he was. Okay, so again, fact check. How do you find out who a person is? In the United States, I could probably go down to the police department or whatever, but it would have been just easy enough for him to go to immigration and say, does this person work here and what department does he work in? Okay, that would have been the easiest thing. And let me tell you that immigration knew who Mark was before we arrived. Right. They have already seen the video. It was put out on Monday.
Yeah,
Thursday.
The guy, I think he had just watched the video that day. The guy that we spoke with, So when we walked in, I started to explain to the guy what we were there for, and then I said a YouTuber, and I gave his name, and the guy stands up and goes, "Okay, yeah, we know who this guy is. Follow me back here." He walks us right back to someone we probably weren't even supposed to be in that office. I don't even know.
No, we weren't, because we couldn't go back there when we came back.
Right. We weren't even supposed to be there. So he walked us to a place in immigration that we weren't normally privy to being, but because this person was also involved in this investigation or knew about the investigation. And
there is an investigation. Yeah. She is not speaking out of the side of her neck. There is an investigation going on behind this new Tanzanian policy for the diaspora.
Yeah, not a bill, but a policy, if you know what I mean. So we were speaking to him because they're aware. We were allowed in a place we wouldn't have been allowed to because they were aware of the situation. So needless to say, if it's getting around that quickly and it's only been 3 days since it was posted, then be careful about what you're believing. You can please fact check us. Yes. If you want to go down to immigration, by all means, go. Yes. Take our advice, dress appropriately, get there at 8 o'clock, and you can ask yourself.
And it'd be very quick.
And I think the more people who actually go and inquire about it will show that we are not involved in any. We're not trying to get over on the government, because the last thing that we need is a bad name.
Yep. And that was another thing that Mark pointed out in his video that I was a little disgusted at, about saying that there are people in the diaspora giving bribes to people. Sir, tell me why you're doing that. And I also found it odd that he showed us a Tanzanian driver's license, but he said he got that under something else. Why didn't you tell us about how you got that?
Right.
Instead of some new thing that you're creating. There was a lot of red flags. And another thing, tell me where you took that video at actually, because there's a lot of things that are not allowed inside of immigration.
Right. And one of the things that they actually have listed. They don't have listed that you can't wear shorts, so that you can't have your shoulders out. They have no cameras, no sunglasses. Those are the two things they have listed up when you walk. There's a picture before you even walk in the building. You cannot come in here with a camera, and you cannot come here in sunglasses. So where were you able to record in immigration that you got this new policy passed?
And 2 months, even in the States, that seems like a pretty dastardly feat.
Yeah.
For 2 months to get a policy to lower the prices, when in actuality, sir, you did not lower the prices, you raised them. So now, you know what? I want to say that Mark didn't know. I want to say that Mark was manipulated by these Tanzanian people that are just ultimate scammers, but I can't say that because that was Mark's website. Mark built that website. It's part of his business. So you're saying that it's $750 and it's cheaper, but in actuality, it's more expensive. It's more than 4 times what it actually costs.
And again, if you go to the website, I want to say it's www.immigration.go.tv,
and it is in the description.
and you can click on the visa. So when you're looking at the visa, the Class A, Class C, the business, volunteer, missionary, there are going to be a lot of them, but the prices are listed and they haven't changed.
You know what? Let me see if we can just go to.
They haven't changed at all. So go. I mean, if you're looking to come here and you want to open up a business, you need to know what it'll cost you to be here, and that's just to open the business. That's not the process of releasing. They haven't changed it all.
Sorry.
Leasing a space. That's not. That's just the general fees that you're going to pay to open up an establishment, to have the right to open up an establishment. So there is a lot that goes into it, even in an inspection of the space you're going to use. This is a whole country, so it's never going to be easy to come somewhere and establish yourself. But being knowledgeable is the best thing that you can do, and that's what we're trying to do.
And it's not going to be successful if you have your own people pulling you down. Come on, we came over here to stop that.
Right.
How? Pray tell me how. Coming over here thinking you're getting away from that stuff, and the wolves are right in the midst. And we're here today. We calling out wolves today. We calling out at least the spirit of wolves in sheep clothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to bring up this website, so y'all give me a minute to find that so that you can see what's really going on here.
Yeah, and the website is not easy. It's not hard to navigate. Mm-hmm. And when we were talking to the immigration officer, and when we would ask a question, he would say, "Go to the website."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he kept referring us to the website. It's like your parents, when you ask them, "How do you spell this word?"
Go look in the dictionary.
It's like, I don't know how to spell it. How am I gonna? But I get it. He's training us. Like, if you want accurate information, it's gonna be on our website.
Yeah, I could tell you something wrong just because it's changed, but go to the website and you'll see. So I am going to, what's beeping? Can you plug my phone up over there for me, please? And I'm going to share my screen. And what screen do I want to share? Windows, and I want to share. Is it this one I want to share? Yeah, this is the one I want to share. You guys can see that in the chat, right? Yeah, we are not going to be able to see you guys.
And honestly, if there's information that if you know that there's a wolf out there, please let us know.
Don't be silent. Don't be an abusive woman or a husband or a child or molested and keep secrets, because this needs to be outed. Because if we don't say anything, they're just going to keep doing it because they're profiting from it. And just because you fell for it doesn't mean that you don't say anything so that you feel what's the word I want to use? You feel like, well, I got, so then I don't care what happens to other people. No, call them out.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here today, is calling out. You can't, when you hear these things, go find out for yourself. Find somebody that has proven themselves to be trustworthy, and or someone that is willing to investigate the matter for you. We were hearing a lot of people in the chat that was like, "Oh, this is a scam. This is a scam."
But nobody
nobody had no proof that it was a scam.
No one, like, when I'm a horse's mouth person as well. I want to hear it from someone who actually knows the policies. I think that we all should. That's like we all came out of churchianity and started reading our word for ourselves. This is not any different. When you're coming out of a system, yes, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to stumble. But you can pick yourself up and you can learn. Knowledge really is power.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really is. And don't be afraid of it. Just don't be. So if you are, again, you're looking to come here, you can reach out to me. I'll make sure that I put my email in the description or in the chat, because I'm not asking for money. I want you to make a safe landing. It will cost me nothing to give you information. It's just free information. I've had people email me and I'm telling them, if you come here, look out for this. This is what it should cost. We can meet up when you get here. If you're going to ride it on a boda, this is what it should cost. So you know where you're going. I'm trying to help you out because I know that I needed that help and I wasn't here to get. No one helped me. No one helped me.
And I'm here to tell you that she did a good job at helping. I really am. A lot of people have been here for a while and still don't even have their own place. I have my own place within 3 weeks of me touching down here.
So that's over a month.
Okay. And I didn't have to do a whole bunch of looking around or any of paying out all these fees for this and paying all those fees for that. And even now, I gather that information for apartments and houses that I know people have, and I'm giving it freely because I don't want you. What is it for you to stay in an Airbnb and you're paying?
Even $7 a day adds up. You'd be surprised how much $7, $8, $9. And if you're staying in a place for $7, $8, $9 a day, it's really crummy.
Yeah, it really is.
It's really, really crummy.
And I stayed for a month for $287, but even that was more. That was $287 US, 570 some thousand T shillings. But even that was more than what I actually paid for my own 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in a beautiful compound. So
I think T. Race, who's in the chat, mentioned Ecclesiasticus 6,
where did you see that?
7 to 11 earlier.
Oh.
And it has to do with what you're saying. It says,
find it for me because you know where.
Well, his name is T. Race.
T. Race.
And it says, when you make friends, don't be too quick to trust them. Make sure that they have proved themselves. Some people will be your friends only when it's convenient for them, but they won't stand by you in trouble. Others will fall out with you over some argument and then embarrass you by letting everyone know about it. Others will sit at your table as long as things are going well. They will stick to you like your shadow and give orders to your servants, but they will not stand by you in trouble. And even me, when that story is kind of opposite. When I first got here, it was just, there's so many things I wish I knew because I got almost the whole first month. I didn't have someone like her.
She would go shopping with me, show me where to shop, what was too much, and her husband, and her driver, just really. She literally held my hand like I was a baby, and I was like,
herself,
she
right?
did.
She proved herself to be trustworthy, and she even showed it with her actions. And after being kind of alone for 3 weeks at an Airbnb here, and then meeting people, it was like that's what the Most High has been showing me. Don't just trust, because that's how I found the sister who's telling me it was 50,000, 150,000 per person for me to just get an extension, which would have helped me. First of all, I don't have any of that money, and second of all, and she knows that, she knows my testimony, she knows my story, and she was trying to rip me off, and I trusted her. I thought she was a friend or a sister, you know what I'm saying? So especially coming here alone, you might want to just try to gather and get with people, but
it's not there's a delay.
You might want to be gather with people, but you can't just trust people. You have to, they got to prove themselves. So it's better for you to stay alone, study to show yourself approved, seek the Most High, and even study like any information you need. Go and find it for yourself. You know, we can say so much about other people, but we need to stop ourselves too and be like, why are we just, we gotta decolonize ourselves too. Like
I agree.
whoever's on YouTube seems like they have all the views and knows what they're talking about. I always see their face. Okay, they're gonna be someone I can trust when I
get there.
When I get
And
there.
It's literally the exact
Opposite. Because
Okay,
only
so
when they've
I'm just
benefited.
gonna click into
Oh, you got
Visa. I can't see them anymore. That little screen's gone away now. I don't know where it went. So let's see what we got here.
So go back up
To go back up.
and
I think it was gonna move anyway when I let's see, apply online for.
but you should be able to see just the list of what it costs to get a visa.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
And the thing is, so what people are confusing, people think that in order for you to be a resident or in order for you to be able to stay here for 2 years, what they're granting you is not a visa only. They're granting you a resident permit and a work permit or work visa. So what you're actually getting 3 things. You're getting a Class A or Class C if you're interested in one of those visa. You're getting a resident permit, I believe is what it's called, and you're getting either a work visa, or I think it's called a work visa or work permit. So you're being allowed to stay in the country as a resident for 2 years, and you're being allowed to operate as a business for 2 years until you have to renew.
No, I didn't even know that part.
You have to renew every 2 years.
Well, not the 2-year part, but it included the residency and the
that's what
work
you're really
part.
paying for.
So
it
seemed like that they were telling us like it was separate.
I know, and I should have asked.
Yeah, it's not showing me like that.
So I have it on my screen and I can read it out. And like I said, if you go to
Here, maybe you can maneuver better on here. Look,
immigration.
I'm under pressure right now.
Yeah. So when you come in as, say, you know that you want to open a business, you just know it. 100% that you're going to come in here and open a business. You can apply for different types of visas. That is just your entry fee. So you're coming in as a tourist. You're coming in as a student. You're coming in as a missionary, or you're coming on a business visa. There's more than one type of visa to come into each country. The 3 of us came in on tourist visas. So when we came in, we are allowed to be in the country for 1 year. And every 90 days, we need to leave the country and come back if we choose. And they stamp your passport. And then you're here for another 90 days. If you know 100% you're going to come here and start a business, you can apply for it. You can come in on a Class A visa. You can just come in on it. And that one, as far as the website says, it costs $3,050 USD. And then once you're here, you go through immigration and you go and you get a resident permit, you get a work permit, you pay certain fees in order to stay here, in order to establish yourself as a business entity. You're essentially becoming someone who will pay taxes in this country off of the business that you've opened. That's why it costs what it does. So it seems like a lot of money, but you're paying to make money in someone else's country. So that's why they're asking you to, if you know you're going to come in here and open a business, just come in under a business visa. Because if you don't, you're going to have to pay in order to switch that to a business visa and then move forward. Because you cannot open a business legally under a tourist visa. So let that sink in. You can come in here on a tourist visa all you want to, and I suggest that you do that to stay a year and check out the policies, the culture, and to see if you think your business will be lucrative. See what you can do, and then I would say gather yourself, go somewhere else, get your plan together, and then come back with a business. Come back as a Class A citizen or Class A visa. And then you just come in smooth, because I feel like, again, this is just me, what I've discerned is that many of us are coming in here under the guise of just being tourists, and when we all actually know we want to stay. So many of us, and myself included, are coming in dishonesty. So if I knew I wanted to open a business here, I should have come in here as a class A, not a tourist visa, so that I would have the mindset of, I've spent this amount of money to come in and open a business. What am I going to do? And when they're seeing that we're asking over and over and over and over again for extensions, never once leave the country, it looks suspicious to any government. You would never be able to do that in the US, and we expect to be able to do it here.
Why can't I find what you're working on over here? And this can be intimidating too when you can't find what it is that you're looking for.
You're on a totally different website.
I feel like I am too.
Are you on immigration.gov.tz?
That's what, yeah, no. Is this right?
Yeah, she's on a whole new website.
Sorry, guys. Now, why I won't do this?
Your connection's not private. So
I can't even show you. But I did put the right link in the description, so you can go there. But it's blocking me out for whatever reason.
Well, that's what we're talking about right now, anyways. Y'all need to click the links yourselves. And
yeah, do the work for
research.
yourself.
Don't just be listening to these YouTube videos and letting everybody just tell you every single aspect.
Yes.
Get the information.
But it's in the description box. You can go there for yourself. Yeah, that was a fantastic point. We can't do all the work for you, and we can't stop people from committing crimes against us if we don't say anything, because I'm sure the person that told you and the person that told you told somebody else, and no one said anything. No one else investigated it till now. Yeah. Even then, we didn't investigate it. We didn't even. It just was literally thrown in our lap.
Right. Yeah. I'm looking at the comments, and A Queen said work permit plus residency permit card. Exactly. You're getting a work permit, a residency permit, plus a visa. So from what I get from other people, all this is separate, and you have to pay all these different separate fees for that. Somebody is getting over. If you are not going to the horse's mouth, you are being deceived,
pooped on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, and again, I had to, for whatever reason, I needed to be in the country in order to understand what that meant. And I think a lot of us are, but now that we have this website, you can gather at least a little bit of information. And maybe I'll go on my channel, I'll do a video, and I'll do a breakdown. I'm going to do a breakdown of what I've been told, and I'm going to use the information that I have to let you know what it looks like.
And that's ads.
Oh, my website is the Rivera's Travel
on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. So, and then
you have an Instagram page too, don't you?
I have
Instagram and YouTube too.
A YouTube.
Okay.
Shamazra.
Spell that for him.
I'll put it in the chat.
It's okay. Good deal. And y'all already know where I'm at. And I think I got an Instagram, and I think that's actually beating the street. I don't think I've uploaded anything yet, but that's where we're at with that. Y'all, we just wanted to do this video because truth matters. Facts matter. Truth matters because it can hurt someone physically, emotionally, and financially. And I'm not here to be hurt, whether physically, emotionally, or financially. And I don't want you to be hurt physically, emotionally, or financially. And that's by anyone. I don't care who it is. It hurts more when it's supposed to be family, always, right? So I'm just here telling the truth. And if anybody wants to, be mad at us for telling the truth, be mad. We already prayed about it. Be mad. We did. We prayed about it. You be mad and you deal with my Father about it. Yep. Because we took it to him before we did anything. So I hope that that people, make better choices, make better decisions, get better information. Don't just listen to one person. Just because one person been here longer doesn't mean they're doing it right.
That part.
Okay, it doesn't mean that they're not being scammed. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. They could be getting scammed for the same way for 2 years, and the scammer is just loving their dumb self, right?
I wanted to add something. Just because people have been here for longer doesn't mean they're here legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are a person who is here and your visa has expired, from what I've gathered, it's not a punishable offense and they'll take you to jail. I think you need to do a lot more in order to go to prison.
They said
but that special pass that I discussed earlier comes into play, and it will cost you $600 USD, and what you'll get is 30 additional days to get out of the country.
Yeah, but then there's no repercussions for you staying over your permit. You can still come back into the country if you want to after your 90 days or whatever.
Was it 30 days?
I thought it was
After 30?
After a year, it's 90 days. You have to wait to come back into the country,
So
even on a visa. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
right. So you can come back into the country. So there's no penalties. It's not like, it's your
Except
driver's
like
license and you've been expelled from the country or something like that. Don't be fearful. Try to be here legally. I know, like you, when it came, and me and you, when it came down to realizing, dang, 3 months have gone by and I need to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
You panic.
Right. You really do.
You panic. You don't know what to do because it takes it. I was on the phone for 3 or 4 days. Then my credit card wouldn't work right. I finally figured out what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, and didn't play out the way that I wanted it to. And it just so happens the Most High put something in my lap to help me get through my situation. But the same thing happened to you.
That's what I was about to say. That's exactly what happened. I gotta renew my stuff next week. And then this Mark thing comes out. I'm all excited, pray about it. Then sis messages me about getting an extension, and then you message me about
let's get together in mysterious ways, and not for a second, please.
Right.
The Israelite community here in Dar es Salaam is small. You can't say hear nothing with somebody not knowing about it.
Yeah.
How do you think you're gonna scam your own people and get away with it? I do not know. Oh. That's because people don't talk about what they should be talking about.
I have been gaslighted a lot. I can say I've been gaslighted more being here than I ever was gaslighted by white people. And I'm not. I am absolutely not. I don't know if anyone in this chat actually knows me, but I'm a very vocal person. And I'm very passionate and I'm very blunt sometimes. And for me, one of the first people to be like, okay, so Dar is not what these YouTubers are telling you. And people were telling me that I did things wrong, or it's because my husband's not an Israelite. It's because what did they say? Oh, you're not from East Africa, so you should go back to where you came from. And all of those things were said to me. I've been told you're not a sister, you're not family. They call us Black Americans. I've gotten all kinds of mistreatment here from our people, from people in Babylon who have never even stepped a foot on this continent, let alone in this city, telling me that I'm saying it wrong. Well, how is what I'm saying wrong if I'm living it? Yes, I have a tendency to be a little dramatic. I understand that, but when I pull back and I talk to my father, he's opening my eyes and then showing me sisters who are going through the same thing. And I can guarantee you it's not just us three.
It can't be. It can't be.
It can't be. And let me just say that I had conversations with even people who have big YouTube channels that I haven't heard them say the negative things that I've heard. That I'm not just I'm just that
experience. Is it negative or is it true?
The truth.
Right. They call it. They tell you to stop being negative when you're being honest.
Yeah, honesty.
Because it messes with their money. Because what I've noticed, when you come here, what you'll see is when we open up businesses, they are catering to our people. And that's not a bad thing because I like peach cobbler, I like fried chicken, I like oils, I like organic things. So I'm going to shop in my community. My community may not be in the same place, but my community is online. So I can buy honey and milk from my sister or my brother. But without us being here, they cannot thrive because their businesses are catered to us.
Mm-hmm. So how can you?
So that means
poop on your front door.
They have to make sure that they're telling you a partial truth in order to get you here.
Yeah.
That is a harsh reality.
I didn't even think about it like that.
I didn't think about it like that too. I was like, where's she going with this?
If you look at everything
Because if we're not here, they don't make money.
No one's making, because the Tanzanians here that I'm not rich. So I live in a neighborhood that's probably considered middle class, maybe. They have nice houses, they got nice cars. I got a nice house, I don't have a car. I'm walking sometimes because I don't have that kind of money. But I see the difference in class. We all know there's a caste system everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
But even the people who have the money, they're used to going to certain places. They'll go to KFC before they go to Yaman. Yaman has delicious food.
Oh,
fresh.
That chicken, the
chicken and waffles is on point. The homemade.
Well, the whole vegan menu right there.
There you go.
I've been eating that vegan menu, and that's lit.
Exactly.
Fresh,
So it's like
good.
But even the word vegan, that is a Western word. They just say vegetarian here because vegetarian to them doesn't mean all the stuff that our culture is. We're bringing it with us, and we're creating a community within a community of people who are not like us, because they're not necessarily like us. Tanzanians aren't necessarily like us. They don't eat like us, dress like us, talk like us. When we come with our ideas, they're for us. They're FUBU. Nothing wrong with that. But if no one's here to buy your stuff, then you're not successful in that business.
You don't thrive, because I bake cookies, peach cobblers, apple cobblers. Every time Tanzanians eat it, they say, "Oh, it's so sweet."
Right.
It's too
we
sweet.
like sugar and butter and salt.
So when my American people order and buy this stuff,
it's
girl, this is
girl.
good.
I haven't had this in the States, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So, but I have to find a happy medium if I'm going to survive here.
Right.
Because I don't know how you cheat peach cobbler and apple pie. You can't cheat that. You understand? It's either good or it's bad. And so I have to find a way not to make it so sweet, so that other people outside of Americans will eat it as well.
Right.
But you're not withholding information and truth that can,
No, I'm gonna sell you some vegetarian stuff that ain't vegetarian.
Right. That's made with all this.
I'm gonna tell you that this is the best way to stay here, and everything's all gravy here, and TZ, and this is how you can stay, and just not even say this is how you can stay, and that is what he said. This is how you can stay here when
legally. That's what you can say. But
even saying legally. Just even that saying legally is showing people on YouTube that we're not staying here legally. There's an indication that there are people here who are here illegally. And while I don't condone them being here illegally, we need a better way to address our community. It's not YouTube.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
And there's some I would address. This right here, even this, I'm even borderline with, because I've seen a few videos here lately that are calling out the diaspora. I'm calling out this particular incident because it can be financial ruin for some people. $700 can be ruined for somebody right now.
Right.
Okay. When all they had to do was pay $250. Okay.
Right.
That's a big difference. But there does have to be a different way to address problems. First of all, say it to some,
Say it to my face.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is everybody here is like, I'm watching YouTube. So our community's on YouTube. That's where they want to stay. They want to get their information from YouTube. Yeah. So now, unfortunately, if people aren't going to come forward and be honest and say, I didn't do if that's what Mark did, or if that's what whoever, the person that we're giving grace to come to us and tell us, I didn't know, or I didn't intentionally do it, or I did intentionally do it and I repent from it. If we're giving you an opportunity to repent. Otherwise, we're gonna have to come to our community online and just let y'all know who to watch out for, because we know y'all are trying to flee from Babylon. We know you're trying to get a better life for you and your family, and you don't have much. And we don't need you to come here and trust who you see on YouTube, who seems like they got it all together, because they're not sharing all the everything.
They're robbing. They're not telling you who they robbing.
They're not telling you who they're robbing to get to the money and show you how is their best life and leave America. Look how beautiful it is. All these places I've been to and all the places that you can go.
That's just making me angry.
Yeah, we can't go
It
here.
was just making me
let's just
angry.
wait.
But what I did
we
want to
have
make one other point.
But we,
There was some paperwork. Why I'm trying to give myself a bullet point. Okay, so you sent me an article about the president of Tanzania. So the day on Tuesday, the 16th, the day after Mark did his thing, and he told us all, the government is cracking down, and this, that, and the other. The president issued, was it a video or was it a?
She issued a statement basically saying
What is
that
the video? Was it an article or a video?
It was an article.
Okay,
It
all
was
right.
an article stating that.
Sometimes I read in video.
No,
so.
but look at the caption. The caption looked like it was a recording.
Okay.
A snapshot.
But I just remember her talk,
Yeah.
like that's how I read. That's how I read. I'm a very visual person.
But it was saying
Sorry.
they're cracking down on corruption within immigration,
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed like a twofold thing. So they have trained, I want to say like 400 they have a new class of
Immigration officer.
Immigration officer. I was calling them immigrants.
Okay.
They have a new class of immigration officers who she wants to replace with the old immigration officers who, from what I gathered, are accepting bribes
Mm-hmm.
and doing things and doing things.
And they want to retrain them. They just
we
want to
retrain them.
Mhm.
So she wants to take them off of active duty, retrain them, and put the people who are properly trained under her regime
Mm-hmm.
in their board, in their situation.
I wouldn't say regime. Isn't that like
under
her tutelage?
It is, because they were hired under MAGA food, so it is. It's
Okay.
under her regime. Like,
Okay.
so
Or-
she's.
I thought they called that in the other places. I don't know. It's weird being in
Under her tutelage.
That sounds corny too.
But so let that be a lesson to people who are giving bribes and those who are accepting bribes. I want to be here as long as I can, but if it's 365 days, that's all I have. And I can go to any other country that will allow me to come there.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be there legally, because the last thing I want is to make the rest of my people look bad. Because I represent him and I represent you all.
Yep.
So if I'm coming in here acting up and doing things I'm not supposed to do because I'm afraid, it doesn't matter your reason for doing it,
Yep.
it's wrong.
Yep. And
We need to start acting out the righteousness that we know that we're capable of.
And they're watching us.
Yes,
If
they are.
If we came 3 days after a video was posted, and they already knew about it
Right.
before we got there,
yeah, that's
they
what he
are
said.
watching us.
Like, who sent the video? Honestly, I want to know. Either they're, like I said, they're just watching us because this YouTuber has hashtag Tanzania Dar es Salaam, or someone sent it. Nonetheless, they've had it long enough to launch a formal investigation.
A formal investigation is what is being done. So, this is just our telling you, look, fact check for yourself. In the States, it's always been, if it's too good to be true, it normally is. And we all wanted it to be true.
Yes, we did.
Please
don't think that we didn't.
We wanted it to be true so bad. It would solve so many problems. Yeah. But the real reality is that it would have robbed us of what we really could have. So now we all need to sit down, go on immigration, and fill out the visa for volunteer work or for retirement or Class A. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to save ourselves $400 some odd to do that. Hopefully everything will be fine. And then we got to meet a friend at the immigration.
Right.
I mean,
really nice guy.
He really gave us good information. So if nothing else, go meet a new friend at the immigration office. Again, we don't know if that was just God's grace on us because he knew that we were on a mission. But it was nothing wrong with going to the immigration. I really thought it was going to be like Section 8 busy, welfare line busy, everywhere, sweaty, stinky armpits, people rolling. It was none of that. It was basically empty. The place was very, very empty in the place that we were at.
And they were respectful and kind.
Got to watch them salute to each other, walking in the halls and stuff.
It was a wonderful experience, and I can say honestly that was one of the more pleasant experiences I've had while I'm here, and with someone that's an official like that, like in that kind of governmental position, because we know in the States how they can be.
Yeah, and it's weird because we in America, we've been around guns all of our life, okay? Even if you're a backwood, if you're, apostolic and all, you just never seen a lot of nothing. You know about guns, and you know there's not no kid in America that doesn't know about guns. But when I got here, I was really nervous to see military type people at the grocery store, at the bank, with these big AK-47s or whatever they were. It was very intimidating to me. And so that same intimidation was brought over even when I said immigration. After I told you guys, hey, let's go, and I was just like, Sharita, do you really want to go down
Dude,
there?
I had the same
Like, no,
spirit of fear. I was like,
find out
they
some parental
they're gonna take.
abduction.
I'm gonna call Tony and be like, they
kids.
kicked me out. I'm in prison. Bring
Like,
me
I'm going to prison. So many
But
times
what
I thought of that.
But what if we
Nah.
submitted to that fear? What if we submitted? What if we submitted to the fear? That would make Mark and anybody else that was making a scam, they would go undetected once again because we didn't listen to the spirit of the Most High.
Right, and that's probably why most of us also, we might not study or do our own research, but just the fear of having to deal with immigration.
Right.
You
Because
know
the
what I'm
word
saying?
immigration, like, it just doesn't sound happy. It doesn't sound like a place
We
where
can't
you're
be
welcome.
off, and then what they do, they take that what is it
That-
called? That bribe or loophole, go
Right.
through another diaspora who's being dishonest and just trying to get your money,
Right.
or go through a corrupt immigration officer who's trying to get more money from you.
Right.
When you
Because
just
people-
go by yourself and
what
ain't
is it?
nobody out there trying
Birds
to
of a
get you.
feather will flock together.
Yeah, if you're righteous, you walk in the way, you ain't
Right.
got nothing to fear. Come on
No.
now.
100%.
Even if you're not walking in the way, but you just doing stuff the right way.
So
You know what I'm saying?
do stuff the right way.
Do stuff the right way.
That way you don't feel some kind of way. And that's some advice I can take from my own self, because it's easy to take shortcuts.
Shortcuts. That's
When
what it is.
you get nervous, when you get scared, it's easy to do the wrong thing. So all of us make better choices. And is there anything else that you guys want to say? I think we've let this go on long enough, and we all got things to do, and I hope we didn't take up too much of you guys' time today. I love you guys. I love you enough to tell you the truth. And
that part.
next time.
See ya. Thanks for
Shalom. Maybe I can leave out with some music. We can do that. I hate just cutting it because I don't have a. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get a music.
Truth music, of course.
What's gonna be good? Let's go with this one. This up here at the top.
Yeah. I want to thank the Most High for taking the things of the world off of my shoulders.
I'm put some hot sauce on that in real quick.
Yeah. Thank you, Father. Lord, you made my desires pure. Yeah. You made my desires pure. Yeah. You made my desires pure. Yeah. You made my desires pure. I want wisdom, understanding. I don't want no Grammy. I wanna live a righteous life with a righteous family. I want a wife that love you more than she love me. Wanna show my people that they royalty. Wanna live by your commands, on your word we stand. I'd rather be touching scriptures than touching these banks. No riches gon' profit nothing in a day of wrath. I was living in my mess, I had to take a bath. Creating me a clean heart, Abba made me pure. The things of the world, y'all, it's time to ignore. I want love, I want peace, I want everlasting life. Well done, my good and faithful servant, walking in that light. I'm on this narrow path, trying to save a soul. I want my people in Jerusalem, the days are old. I wanna get to the homeless, show him that he care. I wanna get a homeless, hope we almost out of here. Gave your example through your son, and it's the only way. Ain't no pagans over here, we keepin' holy days. I want my people stop the killing, we dropping the profits. I want us come back to the laws, it ain't no other option. Don't want no hate up in my heart, not over no doctrine. I want the fruits of the spirit, y'all could keep the nonsense. I had to renew my mind, I had to free my conscience. I had to confess my sins, I had to be honest. I want the Ruach HaKodesh to come into me. I only trust the Father, not the enemy. The Father word, he came and cleansed the enemy. I only want the Spirit, so I'm killing me. The Father gave me righteous things that I desire. I want to see the kingdom, not the lake of fire. I don't want no drugs, scriptures got me higher. If we coming up here, how we gon' make it higher? Desires pure. You made my 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 desires pure. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard all that you had for me. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard all that you had for me. You made my desires pure. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard all that you had for me. You made my desires pure. Haven't seen, ears haven't heard all that you had for me. You made my desires pure. See all that weight that was on our shoulders. You made my desires pure. Was the things of this world. You made my desires pure. I want to say thank you, Father. You made my desires pure. Getting that weight off our shoulders. Hallelujah.
Just said,
Hold on.
Where's my phone?
Hold on, this is
Look, the government ain't who you think they are. Yes, we know that they the children of the darkness. What they did to our world is a hot mess. In this war of guys, we know we the target. Yeah, I'm so tired of making songs about these devils. Really, there ain't nothing left for me to tell you. You should know them by their works. Every nation that they came across, they put them in the dirt. Everything they touch get cursed. They not human, they don't belong here. But why they still alive? Like what's going on here? Without your power, I just pray you make them all disappear. Cast them outside of the dome. The earth is not a spirit. Yeah, the veil has been lifted. Consciousness ascended. Paradigm shifted. We see through all that bullshit. That which was good, they corrupted, now it's wicked. Every major crime in this world, they committed. I'm talking vampires, bloodsuckers, pedophiles, child lovers, world leaders, can't trust them. But some of them are good. Wait a minute, mother. Everything they created was to weaken the body. We act the way we do things to these toxic ass environments. Look at the hierarchies. This been going on for eons, but this is where it ends. I'm about to turn the heat on. Get what side you gon' be on and stay in place like a tree stump. When I would say, let's go. Killing all of these demons. People often DM me asking what do I be on. I tell them anything esoteric is what I feast on. I don't wanna get off track, but fam, real talk, we are under attack. They coming for our souls, but we gonna fight back. With angles of light, they not ready for that. There's a matrix that we living in, yeah, this this reality is scripted. Yeah, yeah, Hexagonal Q prison.